Hey and welcome to this video tutorial. Today I'm gonna show you a cool 16th note speed exercise that I've been playing regularly since my very first year as a guitarist, and it's still part of my warm-up routine today. To explain it to you in more detail, let's take a closer look at the fretboard. During this exercise, we're almost exclusively in the third fingering pattern of the A minor and C major scale. First, I'll play that pattern from top to bottom for you. Later in the exercise, we also have a small stretch in which we add two notes from the second fingering pattern. You could say that we extend the fingering pattern with these notes, and that's why we play a stretch twice up here. That part isn't particularly easy. Another important thing is that when we've played several notes in a row, the fingers stay on the fretboard. So if you want to be able to play this exercise faster and faster later on, make sure you don't lift every finger off the fretboard again as soon as another finger comes down. Watch very closely how I play this and feel free to watch it more than once before you try to play it yourself. That way you can avoid having to relearn the exercise several times later on. Pay special attention to which fingers I use for which notes. Even though this will eventually become a 16th note exercise, we'll start by playing it with 8th notes so that we can slowly get used to this style of playing. So we begin this exercise on the 4 end, and that means we count, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. Because of that, we start here on the 12th fret of the high E string on the note E with an upstroke. After that we play an F and then here a D. And 1 and. So I both started and ended with an upstroke. The important thing in this exercise is that you really use consistent alternate picking. Otherwise you won't be able to play it faster later on. So once again, just to repeat, start with an upstroke and then keep a consistent alternate picking pattern. Here are the first notes up to the B string, and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The best way to learn this exercise is not to learn it all at once, but rather in small blocks. For example, everything that's played here on the high E string and the B string. To get more familiar with it, play that section a few extra times, preferably with a metronome. After each run, when you reach this one, let the metronome click 2 or 3 more times before starting again from the beginning. Here's an example. Two, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Now in order to move from this comfortable part of the fingering pattern into this other comfortable part, we first have to play the notes here on the G string twice with our middle finger. And since we were previously playing on the B string, that's simply the most comfortable way to move over here. I'll now play everything up to this point here, where we arrive at this comfortable section. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. As you can see, I played the transition from here to here twice with the middle finger. Because these patterns keep repeating and you always move a few notes forward, then a few notes back before moving forward again, you can also remember what to play next quite easily just by following the melody. Except for the places where we switch like this, where you sometimes have to think a bit more. And the part where the stretch comes in later is also a bit more difficult. Now I'll continue playing up to the D string, and 3 and 4. Now we've reached the point where the stretch comes in. And as you can see, I'm playing the stretch up here with my ring finger. Many guitarists would use the middle finger here instead. The reason I do it this way is that when I play standing up, my guitar hangs quite low. Because of that, I got used to using the ring finger for stretches starting roughly around the 5th fret. For example, when I play patterns like 5, 7, 9 or 6, 8, 10. That way I can still play comfortably. When I'm within the first 3 to 5 frets, I usually use the middle finger for the stretch, just like most other guitarists. But how you do it is entirely up to you. Just take a look at the tablature and you'll know exactly where the stretch happens. Out of habit, I'll continue here using the ring finger, and I'll now play the next notes starting from the stretch. Once we reach the bottom here, we're done with the descending movement. After that, the ascending movement begins. For that, you simply start here on the 10th fret and then always play 4 notes upward, then go back 3 notes, play 4 notes upward again, go back 3 notes, play 4 notes upward, and so on. Exactly the same principle as in the descending movement. At first, this may sound a bit complicated, but as you can see both in the tablature and in the way I'm playing it here, these are simply repeating patterns. Now I'll show you the descending movement starting from the low E string. And 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. So far, that was up to the G string. After that, we have the transition again, which I'll show you once more, so you can easily move from here to here again. You end here on the note C. Because of that, unfortunately, you can play this exercise endlessly up and down without interruption, since it ends at that point. Once you finish here, you can wait until the next 4 end, and then start again from the beginning. Now, while I play the entire exercise again very slowly, make sure to watch the video repeatedly. Take the specific sections you're currently practicing and look closely at my fingers and my right hand to see where I'm playing downstrokes and upstrokes. This is also shown graphically in the tablature with the upstroke and downstroke symbols, so you can make sure you learn the exercise correctly right from the start. Now here's the entire exercise played very slowly. As you could hear and see, that was at 60 BPM, and we were playing 8th notes for now. As I mentioned earlier, it will definitely become a 16th note exercise later on. Once you've mastered it cleanly and want to turn it into a 16th note exercise, start again with lower tempos such as 60 BPM. 60 BPM with 16th notes is already fairly fast for someone who hasn't done many speed exercises like this before. So I recommend first learning to play the exercise perfectly at 60 BPM with 8th notes, and then gradually working your way up to 120 BPM, slowly increasing the tempo in steps of 5 or 10 BPM. If you can play it at 120 BPM with 8th notes, you can of course also play it at 60 BPM with 16th notes. After that, you can increase the tempo again up to around 120 BPM, and 120 BPM with 16th notes is already quite fast. That's the tempo I played in the intro, by the way. It may take some time until you can play it that fast. At first, you should really focus on accuracy, counting correctly, playing the right pick strokes at the right time, and getting familiar with the shape of the exercise. Once that works well, not only in this position, but also, for example, down here, or anywhere else on the fretboard, you can start moving through your other scale fingerings using this type of playing. That means you'll also get used to playing your 16th note runs, or your runs in general, in this alternating ascending and descending style. That's definitely more musical than just running straight up and down through your scale patterns, playing 3 notes and then the next 3 or 4 notes and so on. This even forward and back motion creates a much more pleasant listening experience for the listener. I'll give you an example here using the first through the third fingering patterns, where I play freely in this style without a metronome. However, I'm not doing exactly the same thing here. I'm simply applying the principle. So I'm not just playing like this using the 3 note per string technique. Instead, I keep moving a few notes forward and then a few notes back. That's exactly what you learn through this exercise, and later on it will feel completely natural and will work for you anywhere on the fretboard, no matter which string you start on. Here's another example. The most important thing is that later you play this in your own way. Of course, it would also help you somewhat to memorize all the runs that I just played here, but it's much more useful if, whenever you learn new finger exercises, you also learn how to improvise with what you've learned. So first, focus on the speed exercise. After that, you can slowly start trying to freely improvise a few 8th note or 16th note runs, and then, for example, try playing over a backing track. Alright, for now I wish you lots of success and most importantly have fun learning this exercise, and afterwards I hope you'll make great progress in developing your speed and accuracy. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon if you don't want to miss any new videos. I'll see you again in the next one. Until then, bye.